Hi everybody, Claudia here with Healthy Preparedness. Today in this video I'm going to be talking about one of the steps that I talk about in the 7 steps as to what we can do to prepare our bodies now for what is to come. This step is titled Healthy Cells. In the other video where I had kind of briefly gone over all of those 7 steps, I had briefly mentioned the 5 supplements that I feel like we ought to be taking in order to create the healthy cells. Now, these 5 supplements I have run into again and again and again throughout my 7-year journey with the chronic illness that I had, and I just started to delve into each one of those a little bit more and more and just learn more about those and realize how important they are. And it's not just from the research that I did, but I went to the Lord in prayer and I said, Heavenly Father, what can we do? I talk about this a little bit in the other video, but I had very specific answers come to me, and these were 5 very specific supplements that I felt like we were supposed to be taking to create healthy cells that will be able to ward off or fight off or be protected from the pathogens that we may be exposed to. So the very first one on the healthy cells list is magnesium chloride. Magnesium is an incredible mineral that our body needs. There are only 7 macro minerals that our bodies absolutely must have, and magnesium is one of those. And interestingly enough, most of us are deficient in magnesium. Now, there's a particular magnesium. There's lots of different magnesium types out there, so most of us are familiar with Epsom salts. Those are not the type of magnesium that I'm talking about. The type of magnesium that I'm talking about is called magnesium chloride. You can either get it in a liquid solution, which is called a brine, or it's also known as magnesium oil. It's not really actually an oil, but it's called that. Or you can get it in these interesting, nice flakes. And with those flakes, you can do a variety of things, either just put them in your bath or a foot bath, or create an oil or brine with that simply by taking half flakes and half water, boiling water, and then allowing the flakes to dissolve in the boiled water. And then you cool that down, and that's your magnesium oil or brine that you use. So I want to share some of the really neat things that I learned about magnesium and why it's so important for our overall cellular health. Magnesium has a healing effect on a wide range of diseases. It's essential for over 325 enzyme reactions, especially in regard to cellular energy production, health of the brain, health of the nervous system, healthy teeth and bones. In fact, there's this great book written by Carolyn Dean. It's called The Magnesium Miracle. And in her book, she says, magnesium regulates more than 325 enzymes in the body, the most important of which produce, transport, store, and utilize energy. Many aspects of cell metabolism are regulated by magnesium, such as DNA and RNA, synthesis, cell growth, and cell reproduction. Magnesium also orchestrates the electric current that sparks through the miles of nerves in our body. Magnesium has numerous physiological roles, among which are control of nerve action, the activity of the heart, neuromuscular transmission, muscular contraction, vascular tone, blood pressure, and peripheral blood flow. Magnesium modulates and controls the entry and release of calcium from the cell, which determines muscular activity. Without magnesium, muscle and nerve functions are compromised and energy is diminished. So when I think of magnesium and its ability to give us energy, which is interesting, isn't it? Because usually when we think of taking magnesium, we think of something that will help us relax, help us to sleep better, which it does help us do that. But in the end, because of what it's doing on a cellular level, it's actually helping to produce energy within our body. It's helping our cells to work efficiently enough so that we have more energy. And we are going to be in great need of energy during a disaster, but also, just in order to protect our bodies now, just to be able to have that energy now to help keep our bodies healed and even detoxified, which I'll talk about that a little bit more. But here are some other things about magnesium. So it's an infection fighter. There is an article, I'll post it on my blog, but there's an article where they're have been doctors who've used high doses of magnesium, particularly magnesium chloride, to help heal infections in people. So you can actually use it as an infection fighter. But you can just imagine that if you have enough of magnesium in your body, that it will just be a low, subtle infection fighter that's constantly there, that your body can use and turn to with whatever pathogens or infections, infectious diseases and such that we are being exposed to. So here's some more stuff. It has a calming effect on the nervous system. It is the single most important mineral for maintaining proper electrical balance and facilitating smooth metabolism in cells. It's a transmembrane and intracellular modulator of cellular electrical activity. It plays an essential role in the synthesis and metabolism of vitamin D. Now, that is huge. That's a really big deal. And we'll go into vitamin D a little bit more so we understand why that's a big deal. It increases phagocytosis up to 300%. Phagocytosis is the production of white blood cells in our body. It helps with joint and body pain. In fact, with joint and body pain, you can even just spray it onto whatever areas are hurting, whether it's joints or sore muscles, and your body, your skin just absorbs that so quickly, and it is great for joint pain or muscle pain. It's crucial for removal of toxic substances and heavy metals, even toxins like mercury, which is amazing. Could this be one reason why so many of us are unable to detoxify? Why so many of us are so sick, and when we go to these doctors and we're being told, you have a ton of heavy metals in your body. Could this be one reason why? Is because we don't have enough magnesium in our body. Now, one reason why we don't have enough magnesium, well, the main reason is because it just isn't in our fruits and vegetables like it used to be. It isn't in any of our foods like it used to be. Our soils are depleted of it. The only way it can be in our fruits and vegetables and other foods is if it's coming from the soil, but most of our soil doesn't even have that. Even organic foods, which are a better choice aside from, the other option, the only way the magnesium could be in that is if the farmer has placed the magnesium in the soil so that it can be in the fruit and vegetables that we eat. Let's see, magnesium deficiency affects heart and brain. Magnesium helps particular brain receptors that depend on magnesium for their regulation. Now, in Carolyn's book, page 14, she has a list of 5 things that magnesium does. We've talked about it just a little bit, but here they are. Number 1, magnesium is a cofactor assisting enzymes in catalyzing most chemical reactions in the body, including temperature regulation. Temperature regulation to me is huge because there's so many women out there who are cold all the time. They always say, I'm so cold, I'm so cold. I've had my thyroid tested. They say everything's fine, my hormones are fine, but I don't know why I'm so cold. Could it be because it could be a possible magnesium deficiency? Very likely. Would that be a great helpmeet if we fix those levels and our body temperature is up higher and working better if a disaster happens and we're in the middle of winter and we don't have heat? Definitely. That's huge to me. Number 2, magnesium produces and transports energy. Number 3, magnesium is necessary for the synthesis of protein. Number 4, magnesium helps to transmit nerve signals. Number 5, magnesium helps to relax muscles. So you can see there that magnesium is amazing. We definitely need that, and I can definitely see why I was led to have that be a part of one of the 5 remedies that we should be taking to help create healthy cells. Okay, so how much magnesium should we be taking? First of all, it can take 3 months to a year to get our magnesium levels back up to where they ought to be. And if you've ever tried taking a magnesium supplement before, you might have had natural symptoms that come with that, which is diarrhea, just having to run to the bathroom over and over again if you take too much of it. But the amazing thing with the magnesium chloride, especially being able to make the liquid solution, the brine or the magnesium oil, is you can apply it to your skin, which is actually the best way to get magnesium into your body. You know, there's a farmer that is a good friend of mine, and he said that he has been interested in people from the Depression era for a long time, and he has gone back and asked them questions as to what they did to help them get through that time, or just secrets that they learned about. One of them was that they did a magnesium foot bath almost every night, or at least a few times during the week, because they recognized the health benefits that they gave them. And how were they getting that into their body? Transdermally, through the skin. So that getting magnesium through the skin, especially with how depleted our bodies are in it and how long it'll take us to get that back up, we want to be applying it to our skin. Dr. Circus says that taking 6 sprays of the magnesium chloride on each limb, so on the arm, on the other arm, on both legs, and even 6 sprays on the torso and on the back, that would give us enough that we need on a daily basis. That's kind of a lot to me. I kind of think that's a lot. But what we can do is also take it internally, but we want to start slow. So let me see. Who was it that said this? Barbara Bjork. She wrote a really amazing article on magnesium chloride, and she says absorption decreases rapidly when more than 200 micrograms is consumed at a time, when it's taken internally at a time. Therefore, and I think she means that because we would just end up having to run to the bathroom and we're just eliminating it that way. Our body's not absorbing it. She says, therefore, it's important to take magnesium in divided doses throughout the day. If you're taking it internally, take it in divided doses. She says you can start with a few drops in your meal or drink and slowly build up to half a teaspoon twice a day, amounting to 600 micrograms of magnesium chloride daily. So, I think that's the ideal amount, is the 600 micrograms. I'm pretty sure that Dr. Circus, when he said to place 6 sprays on each limb and on the torso of the body, that's how much, that's the high point, that's the amount that you're getting and absorbing by putting that much on your body. So if you're taking a little bit in water and you're spraying some on during the day, I think that's good enough. To me, those are kind of really high doses, although our bodies probably need that, but I'm just recognizing here that it's hard to stay consistent, and especially with families and children. But just come up with a protocol in your home where it's a norm. So especially putting spraying the magnesium oil on your children at night before they go to bed, that'll help them to just calm down and relax and sleep better. Some kids are sensitive, and adults too, are sensitive to the magnesium oil because it is a salt. So if you think of a salt solution drying on your skin, it kind of pricks a little bit. And but interestingly enough, I read that the more it pricks your body, the more deficient you are in it. So, and that totally was true in our family situation, because I had one son in particular who I thought, you know, he just had certain symptoms. Stinky feet is one of them, which I think is kind of funny, is a symptom of magnesium deficiency, and his feet were atrocious. Anyway, but I applied it to all my kids' backs. It was my first time using it, and all of them said, oh, it feels like it's kind of pricking me. And it wasn't that big of a deal for them. They just kind of felt it every now and then. I massaged it on their back, and then we just wiped it off. And then with my son, once I got to him, he couldn't even stand it. I had to wipe it off and get it off him as quickly as possible, because it just felt like it was just burning his back, even though it's not burning. But what you can do is you can dilute it. So you can dilute it with water, half and half, or even an oil if you wanted to, just to help that prickly sensation not to be so intense if you're sensitive to that. Just remember to use double the amount of it, because you're getting less magnesium on your body by doing it that way. But eventually, over time, from what I've read, that prickling sensation should go away as your magnesium levels go up. So that is it. So that is the magnesium. Next, we're going to be talking about vitamin D3 and why that's so incredibly important.